Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you. And today I'm going to be doing a little shooting with the Gamo Hunter 177 cal and the Gamo Master Point 7.56 grain 177 pellets, pointed pellets. Also doing some crony work. I got my chronograph here. But the main reason this video ever came about is because I still get questioned on Shoot to Kill Outdoors channel, my other main channel, about, my videos that I posted about the 177 caliber, whether or not it could actually hurt or kill somebody, and more specifically, how far out is it deadly. So I got some pretty cool things lined up here, and to follow up on that video, I actually went to the hardware store and bought a brand new pine board that I used in that video just to show you guys with this Gamo rifle. So come to find out, this board is I think one video I measured it was 3/4 of an inch, and according to the lumber yard, this is a 1x4, which is just shy of 1 inch, as you can see there. So brand new 4x it's 1x4, and I'm going to be shooting it again with the Gamo. Previous videos I've used the Crosman Phantom, but it's not working currently. So just wanted to see if I can get the same results as I did with the Gamo, or with the Crosman. I'm going to be using the Gamo. So I'm going to be doing a point blank test just to see if a pellet could even go through this stuff. Solid wood, point blank, almost an inch thick, according to the lumber yard. Brand new, not dried out or anything. So I'm going to be actually shooting, and I'm going to stack a couple up. I'm going to use a saw and cut some slivers off and stack them up and shoot them point blank. So, and then after that, I'm going to be doing some shooting at various distances. I'm actually going to try to do it at 50 yards, and we'll see what happens, because in the past videos I've done, I showed that my break barrel 177 Crosman Phantom can shoot all the way out to 75 yards and almost cleanly go through this board. But I can't remember whether or not it was brand new or the wood was here when I purchased our house. So again, fresh piece of wood, just to have a variable here. So all right, let me get to it. And I did shoot point blank, or at the muzzle, through the chrono with these pellets, 7.56 grain out of the Gamo, just to see, get a number ahead of time. And it was, I believe, 880. Yeah, 880. So it gave me exactly 13 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. So just keep that in mind when I'm doing this test with these pellets. So let me get to it. Okay, so here is 3 pieces of 1x4, fresh from the hardware store, from the lumber yard. I'm going to line them up in a row and shoot them with the Gamo Hunter with these Master Point 177 pellets, 7.56 grain. Safety glasses on. Point blank, 1x4 pine board, guys. Well, as you can see there at point blank, zipped right through the first 1x4 and easily made it about halfway through the second. And this is at point blank. Okay, as you can see, freshly cut 1x4, no holes, so 50 yards. Okay, so as you can see, 50 yards, it still went in pretty deep. It didn't go all the way through, but it still went in pretty deep. And this is the Gammo Hunter Sport using the 7.56 grain Master Point pellets. Okay, so at 50 yards, even though the pellet did not completely pass through, like with my Crossman Phantom in my older video, it still went in point blank and completely passed through point blank. So what's that got to tell you? That these air rifles are not toys if they're going through solid pieces of wood, no matter the distance. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Now, to back the claim up that my Crossman Phantom did it at 50, there's so many variables since then that's happened. Fresh piece of wood, different pellets, different gun. So for people who are testing my scenarios and saying that I'm full of it and that the testing is BS and all this and that, this gun actually at point blank shot through a deer skull, the front and in the back. And the reason I caught it was because somebody mentioned it in the comment section, and I rewatched the video and I caught it, and I couldn't hear it because of the spring action of this Gammo Hunter air rifle. So just because it doesn't go through a wood board, and again, the reason why this wood ever even came about is because Iraqi veteran 8888 used half-inch panel board, or half-inch panels is what he called it, to determine whether or not you would be killed by a projectile if it completely passed through. Well, I'm here to tell you, this stuff, like I said, from the lumber yard, even though it measures a hair over a 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75 of an inch or over, it's considered a 1x4 at the lumber yard. And using a utensil here to measure, show you guys, get this close up. This is how far it went in. So that's from the back of the skirt, guys. That's not the full length of the pellet. So the full length of the pellet, if you want to measure it, is definitely halfway or more in this board. And like I said, this is a 3/4 inch board or a 1 inch board considered to the lumber yard. So in between 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch board. So could it absolutely pass through a 1/2 inch pine board at 50 yards? Probably, if this board was actually 1/2 inch. That's another thing. A lot of people tried to replicate my test, and I'm not taking back whatever I did on video because it happened. There's no reason for me to take it back. So if you're trying to replicate my test, you know, you have to do everything the same that I did, and it's kind of hard to do that because you don't see what goes on behind the camera. And it's not that I'm making stuff up, because I don't do that. Why would I waste my time with these videos to do that? I don't. So again, just being truthfully honest with you guys, you know, this Gammo with these pellets at 50 yards did not completely pass through. But again, I'm using a new piece of wood from the lumber yard, and here's the receipt. It actually cost me like 75 cents, 73 cents from Builder's Lumber. I don't know if you guys have that around, but here in the United States, Builder's Lumber, kind of like a Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, True Value. But anyway, doesn't matter. So, also, I took a reading with these pellets through the chrono to see what I can get at 50 yards and see what was pushing out. And these were pushing 5.5 foot-pounds of energy at 50 yards. 5.5 foot-pounds at 570 feet per second at 50 yards through the chrono. Now that's a feat within itself to try to shoot a Springer within about an 1.5 inch window. So just to let you guys know that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, you know, it is what it is, and you know, 50 yards, your results, the truth is your results might be different than mine. There's so many variables, again, but just to sit there and plainly say that my videos are BS and that I don't know what I'm doing is a whole nother animal, because you don't know me, for one. So, alright guys, I appreciate it. I hope you got something from the video, and like I said, just goes to show, even though 5.5 foot-pounds didn't make it all the way through, 5.5 foot-pounds made it almost halfway through this board, which according to Lumberyard, I guess, you know, like I said, I measured it a little over 3/4 of an inch, but they call it a 1x4. So that's still phenomenal. 5.5 foot-pounds going through a solid piece of wood and not bouncing off or anything like that. So about right there is where the penetration stops, about halfway this board. That's still amazing. And still being able to get a reading through the chronograph through these windows at 50 yards with the brake barrel is another feat. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks again.